data warehouse, then click on OK. Once you click on OK, you will be on this page. Here you have two panes. This right side big pane is called as a structure pane, and this pane you call as a classes and objects pane. Yes, till now what we did is we connected Universe from your designer to dev server with your username and password. Once you connected with the Universe designer, you just need to give the name of the Universe, and as well as you define the connection between your Universe and the data warehouse. Then click on OK. Then you will be on this page. In this page you have two panes. This pane you call as a structure pane. This pane you call as a classes and objects pane. What you need to do is, in the structure pane, you need to right click. There you have a tables. Click on tables. Once you click on tables, it will take you into the tables there in your tables there in the data warehouse. Tables there in the data warehouse. In the requirement analysis itself, you decided you need a few tables. I decided I need a table called as a article lookup. The reason is I need article label in my report. That's why I take article lookup. I have some problem in my software settings. That's why the table name is coming with the complete path. Anyway, that I'll again set later. Anyway, the meantime, I just want to reset the table, rename the table name. I renamed, and I need in the report I need a requirement for year, so that's why I'm importing calendar year table also into the Universe, and I'm just renaming this table. Normally in real time you'll get a table name only with the table name, but not with the path. But unfortunately my software settings I have done in run. That's why the table is coming with the complete path. I'm just renaming, and in my report I want a amount sold and quantity sold. That amount sold, quantity sold will be there in the soft fact. That's why I imported the soft fact also. And let me rename. Yes, you renamed. Then you have three tables, and I want a other column called as the product promotion cost. That product promotion cost is there in my product promotion cost fact. So that's why I imported this table also. These tables I imported for satisfying my report requirement. Now I have four tables. Now I have four tables in the Universe. As per my requirement, my customer is asking to create two reports. Report number 1, I told you I need article label, comma, year, comma, amount sold. And second report is article label, comma, year, comma, promotion cost. These two reports I am going to create based on these four tables. But I am lazy, I am stupid. I don't know how to create a joins for satisfying these reports. If you want to satisfy that report, first you need to check where the columns is there for first report. When you see these three columns, first column is article label. That article label is presented in the article lookup table. And the second column is year. That year is presented in the calendar year lookup. Then third column is there in amount sold. That amount sold is there in the soft fact. As per the referential integrity, if you are trying to take a data more than one table, the mandatory is you need to create a connection. You need to create a join between that table. And the second rule is, if you want to create a join between two tables must have a common column. And third rule is, if you have a common column, that common column must be a primary key in one table, foreign key in other table. That is mandatory. That is mandatory. But I'm stupid. I'm lazy. I don't know how to create a joins. That time tell me, John sir, what you do? Hello? John sir, are you there?
Joins. Yes sir.
John sir?
Automatic detection. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to make, when you make tools and automated detection, what it will do? No. Before going to tools and automated detection, if you want to create a join between two tables with the help of common column and primary and foreign key, that particular strategy you need to set for the universe to create a joins. That time what you need to do is go to file, there you have parameters. There is a tab called as a strategies tab. In the strategies tab you need to select smart matching column names. When you make smart matching column names, when you select join strategy as smart matching column names, that time the designer tool will create a joins between only smart matching column names. What do you mean by smart matching? You know, smart matching means two tables must have a common column, and as well as that column must be primary key in one table and other tables must be a foreign. That we call as a matching column names. If the system is identified there is a common column between two tables and the column must be a primary key in one table and foreign key in another table, that time only it will create a join. Otherwise it won't create a join. Now I am giving an instruction for the system. Please create a joins between matching column as well as primary and foreign key column. That is the way it will detect the joins. It will identify the columns which are their matching as well as primary and foreign key. Then I set the joins as strategy as smart matching column names here. Click on OK. I hope you know where you set. File, parameters, strategies, joins. Yes, once you set your strategies, I just want to save this universe. Yes, I'm just trying to save in the local system. And then you know, if you want to create a joins now, you need to go to tools, automated detection, detect joins. It will identify the joins between your tables. Then click on insert. When you click on insert, it will insert the joins. You need not to use your brain now. It created the joins. Yes, you inserted the joins. It created the joins between matching column names as well as with the primary foreign key column. Why it's created with the smart matching column names? You know, you set the strategy as smart matching column names. Based on your strategy, the universe designer created the joins for you. That you have done. And very next step, tools, automated detection. You detect the joins. Very next step is you detect what? Cardinalities. When you set cardinalities, it will set a cardinality for all the joins. See, it set cardinality for all the joins. And very next step is you need to detect a loops. If you want to detect a loops, tools, automated detection, there you have detect loops. It will identify the loops. Now I told you yesterday, if there is a loop,
unmuted.
If there is a loop, for resolving loops in BO, we have a three techniques. Number one called as a shortcut join. Number two called as alias technique. Number three called as a context. You know, when you go for shortcut join, you know, if the loop created with the three tables, that time you go for shortcut join. If the loop created more than three tables with one fact table, that time you need to go for alias. If the loop created with more than three table and more than one fact table, that time you need to go for context. When you see these tables, you have a total 4. You have a total number 4. That means it's a greater than 3. And you have a facts is greater than 1. You have a 2 facts. This time, this loop can be resolved with the context. And very next step, how how many contexts you required for resolving this loop? Jan sir, tell me on what basis you decide that? Jan sir? Are you there?
Depends upon number of facts. Yes sir.
Exactly. How many
Number
facts
of
you have
facts.
here? How many
Two.
facts you have here?
2.
2. Then tell me what context and how many contexts you require now?
We need one for shop facts and one for product promotion fact.
Then tell me how you make a context one for soft fact. With what joins you make a context for soft fact? See, the soft fact is joined with the article lookup one side and soft fact is joined with the calendar year lookup, right? The two joins you need to make a one context, and when you see the promotion fact is joined with the article lookup one side, promotion fact joined one time with what? Calendar year lookup. Agree? You need to make one context, soft fact context, with the joins between article lookup soft fact, join between calendar year lookup. That will satisfy your first requirement. Logically you are dividing the two joins and three tables into one part. That time the system can understand, oh, I have a three tables, only two joins. That time the number of joins is less than number of tables. That will satisfy your referential integrity. And the second context, you are logically organizing promotion fact, article lookup, calendar year lookup into second context with the two joins between promotion fact, article lookup, promotion fact, calendar year lookup. That time the system can understand, oh, I have only two joins and three tables. This will also satisfy the referential integrity. But when you are not, if you are not dividing logically into two parts, that time the system can see always 4 tables and 4 joins. That time then you have an equal number of joins and equal number of tables. As per the referential integrity, always the joins must be less than number of tables. That time it will give an error message. It will give an erroneous record, less number of records. When you logically subdivide 2 tables, 3 joins into what? 1 part. Sorry, 3 tables, 2 joins into 1 part. Again 3 tables into 2 joins in another part. That time the system can read at a time 3 tables and 2 joins for first report. When you execute a second report, that time the system can see 3 tables and 2 joins. That time you can satisfy the requirement as well as you can satisfy the referential integrity. Okay, that's good. How you can resolve this loop, you know? You need not to use your brain. You just created the joins with the detect, auto detect, as well as you set the cardinality with auto detect, as well as you need to click on detect loops. When you detect loops, the universe designer itself suggests us to go for context or alias. When it will suggest us to go for context, you know, if the loop is enabled with more than 3 tables and more than 1 fact table, that time the universe designer suggests us to go for context. Then what you need to do is, you need to click on what? Candidate context. When you click on candidate context, it will create a 2 context. Context 1 with the fact 1, that means soft fact. Context 2 with the product promotion fact, that is your fact 2. Then select second context also. Click on add. You added 2 contexts for the system. You accepted. Click on OK. This time it will says loop 1 by 1. The loop is covered by below context. That means you resolve the loops. Then close the loop detection window. This window you need to close. You closed. Now when you execute a soft fact, that time what the system will do, you know, the system will disable the path between promotion fact, calendar article lookup and calendar year lookup. It will enable only path between soft fact article lookup and soft fact calendar year lookup. This time the system can see only 3 tables and 2 joins. Now you are satisfying referential integrity. You have a less number of joins than number of tables. And when the user executes second report with the product promotion fact, that time, you know, it will enable the path between promotion fact article lookup, promotion fact with the calendar year lookup. It will disable the path between soft fact article lookup, soft fact and calendar year lookup. This time also the system can see 3 tables and 2 joins, that means number of joins is less than number of tables. Agree? Are you clear with this? Please? Are you clear? Vishwa, are you clear with this? Vishwa, are you there? Any doubts, please? Hello? Hello, sir, please, you have any doubts? Jan, sir, you have any doubts?
Can you export this? Can you export this to repository and show us a baby report?
Sure. Go to File, Save, and as well as File, Export. Sorry, before exporting you need to create what? Classes and objects. You just need to drag and drop into this side. Okay, agree? Save it, File, Export, Browse, and Web Universes folder. Click on OK. Click on OK. You exported this universe to the repository to Ravan server, and if you want to create a report, you need to go to take a rich client. Now I am trying to create a WebI report by using rich client. Now you created the universe. You imported the tables and you make a joins. Later you resolve the loops and you set up a classes and objects. In report level you can see classes and objects. Now let me create a new universe, new report on top of universe. I just clicked on universe. What is our universe name, sir? Universe 2?
Yeah.
John, sir. Universe 2. Select that particular universe for creating a document.
Yes.
You selected that universe. Now I want an article label and calendar year. Software what? Amount sold, run query. I guess yes, got the data? John, sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
When you see this, query, how you did this query?
Report element, data access.
Data
Access. Go to data
okay,
access. Edit.
Here you have edit query. When you see your SQL query, now how many joins it will take? Here you have a view script. When you see in the where condition, it took article lookup dot article ID equals to stopback dot article ID and calendar year lookup dot what? Week ID equals to softfact dot week ID. For example, unfortunately, you haven't created the context. You forgot to create a context. I removed the context. This time see what problem you will get. File, export, browse, I just remove the context. Now I am not creating context. That means I am not resolving the loops. This time see what problem you will get in the rich client. If you want to create a new document, then what do you need to do? John sir, create a new document, universe. I'm just trying to create a new report. Now I modified my universe. I want to create a new report. Now I don't have any context. Then take article label, calendar year, sub fact what? What do you want here? Tell me sir, John sir. Amount sold. When you see view SQL script, how many giants you got now? John sir, question for you.
Yeah.
Why you are getting 4 giants here? The reason is the system cannot understand how the system will read, it will check article lookup, you are dragging and dropping article label into the report. When you see the definition of article label, that article label is coming from article lookup dot article label, and here is coming from calendar year lookup, and amount sold is coming from amount sold is mapping with soft fact dot amount sold. That time system what it will do, first it will go to the article lookup. Yes, article label is there. Second, it will take year from calendar year lookup. Third, it will go to the soft fact dot amount sold. This time what the system will do next, yes, select class will write with the help of these tables, and then when it goes to the where class, it will see the article lookup is joined with the soft fact as well as article lookup is joined with the promotion fact. That time it will get confused. It will give you 2 giants. Next it will go to the calendar year lookup. Calendar year lookup is also joined with the 2 tables. It will also give it 2 giants. Total you will get a 4 giants. If you make context, that time what the system will do, first it will check where the article lookup, where the calendar year lookup, where the soft fact is presented. If these 3 tables presented in context 1, it will check what joins there in the context. The 2 giants only it will write in the where class. When you execute second report, it will check whether these 3 tables is there in second context, and it will check what joins will be there in the second context. It will write only the 2 giants in the context. If you are not creating context, that time the join, the table, the query what it will do, it will check the column from where it's coming, column 2 from where it's coming, column 3 from where it's coming, and it will check the joins between the tables. It will get confused, it will give all the joins. That will give you wrong results. Agree? This time when you execute query now, yes, anyway it write 4 giants because you don't have a context. Run query. This time what it will do, it will give a results, but it will give a wrong results. Now when you see here, you got some other results. The reason is it's taking data from, it's continuously formed, and it will take a data. Any doubts? John sir.
When you use the context, the user get a chance to select which context they want to run for the report, no? So now earlier it was not there.
See, if you detect a loops, tools, automated detect loops, then candidate context, add, and add. Once you add the context, this time when you try to create a report, with the new report with the you need to save and export in yours first. Save, file, export, browse to that particular folder, click on OK, click on OK. You just exported that universe. Then when you go to rich client, I'm trying to create a new report. Select that particular, let me click on new universe, click on OK. When you try to click on OK, it will ask you to select that particular universe. I selected universe 2. Click on select. This time when you try to create a report with the article label, promotion cost, year, and as well as amount sold, I am trying to create a report with the two context. This time what it will do, John sir, when you see here, it will create what? Hello? It will create two tables?
Yes sir, two reports.
Hello? Two tables, right?
Yes,
but
yeah.
The reason is, in a query properties I set some other properties. I'll tell you later, okay?
Okay.
Why it's creating two tables? The reason is it's firing two separate tables into separate, two queries into separate context. Query 1 in other context, query 2 in other context. When you see here, see reset context on refresh, that option I enabled. Later I'll tell you.
To do at the its parameters SQL SQL.
Yes. In the universe also you need to set file parameters. In SQL tab you need to set what?
Yeah.
Tell me what it is. Sorry?
That option is already checked. That's why I think multiple SQL statements for each context.
This you checked, right? That's why it's giving. If you remove that,
I don't know. It's right.
That we'll tell later. Don't worry. Okay? We'll talk that. Okay. Now anyway you're clear with right? How you resolve the loops? Tell me how many techniques you discussed today. Please explain me what techniques. We talked about alias, right?
Yes, sir.
When you go for alias?
3 tables and one more than 3 tables and one fact table.
When you go for context?
More than 3 tables and more than one fact table.
I have a total 5 and I have 2 facts in the total 5.
Yeah, 2. So 2.
Per time how many contexts you require?
2.
I have a 7 tables, I have a 3 fact tables and 4 dimension tables. The loop is created with the 7 with the 3 fact tables. That time how many contexts you require?
3.
3. How you resolve the loop?
Sir, another question. We can how we can add one alias if you have more dimension table with another loop. So
we need to add alias table for the table which have both the ends 1, 1. Right click, alias, give the name of the alias. That's all. Okay, anyway, that all we will discuss later in the information designer. Now I'm just giving a the concepts what we have in R3. Okay. Then tell me how you resolve this loop. Tell me the steps for resolving this loop. Hello? Are you there?
yes, sir.
Johnson?
I'm going out. I'll be back. Yes, sir.
Okay. For resolving this loop, I hope it's very easy. You need not to use your brain. It's a matter of 3-4 mouse clicks. You can resolve the loops. Once you imported your tables, once you make your joins, very next step is you need to detect a cardinalities. Once you detect your cardinalities, simple way is you need to go to tools, automated detection, detect loops. That time the universe designer itself suggests us to go for alias or context. If it is suggested to go for alias, please click on insert alias. If it is suggested to go for context, please click on candidate context. Then it will make a context based on number of fact tables. Once it made a context with the number of tables, just select that context, click on add. There your job ends. Click on add and click on OK. There your job ends. You need not to use your brain. If the loop is created more than 3 tables and 1 fact table, that time when you go to tools, automated detection, detect flow, the system itself suggests us to go for alias. You need not to use your brain. That time just click on insert alias, it will resolve the loops. Once it resolves the loops, then the next technique is how to resolve a loop with the 3 tables. If the loop forms with the 3 tables, that time if you want to resolve a loop, I'll tell you how to resolve that loop. That time if you want to resolve a loop, let me take other data warehouse. I don't have the tables in my current data warehouse. I want to go to other data warehouse. That time you just need to change a connection for the universe. Just go to drop down, there you can select the connection, click on OK. I just want to remove these classes and objects also. Yes, I removed these classes and objects. Then in the structure pane, right click, go to tables. This time I am taking tables from other database called as a country, and as well as I am taking data from country as well as region. Now I will just explain my requirement. I want a country name, I need a region name. That's why I imported country name as well as region name. Country name as well as region name. That means country table as well as region table. Now I have these tables. Now I have these tables. Now my requirement is I need a country name. Let me rename this table. I just want to rename. I just renamed. This also I want to rename. I'm just trying to rename. Yes, I renamed my tables. And now my requirement is, my customer is asking to create 2 reports. Report number 1 is country name. Report number 1 is country name, comma, region name, comma, sales. And report number 2 is, they want only country name, comma, sales. I need to create these two reports with the help of the tables there in the club database. Fortunate or unfortunate, I don't have a sales table in my backend. Please, in the real time you will get a sales table. I'm sorry, I don't have a sales table. For my explaining the example, I'm just taking a alias table. That alias table name I'll give as a sales. Please treat this region as a sales. Please, for the time being, please treat the column whatever there in the sales table called as a region column. Treat that region column as a sales now. Please, for the time being, please treat. But in the real time, you will get a table with the same naming conventions. Now I don't have, that's why I'm just created the duplicate tables with some columns. There I have a column name called as the region in the sales table, that you need to treat as a sales column. Yes, that's good, you can. Next, now as per the requirement, you need a country name, region name, and sales for the first report. For satisfying first report, you need to check the country name is there in the country table, and region name is there in the region table, and sales is there in the sales table. As per our requirement, you are going to take a data from 3 tables for first report. That's why you need to make a joins between the 3 tables. Now I am trying to create a joins between country and region. Yes, just identify the common column between country and region. Identify there is a country ID. Just create a join. then go to double click join line, click on detect, it will create a cardinality. One country may have multiple regions, that's why it's giving an a cardinality call as 1 to n. Very next step is region table. You need to join with the sales table with the region dot ID equals to sales dot region ID. I'm just creating a cardinality called as 1 to n. One region, there is a chance to do multiple sales. Yes, this will satisfy your first requirement. And the second requirement is you need to create what? Country name, comma, sales. Now tell me how you satisfy this country name and sales. Please, anyone can explain how you can satisfy the second report with the three tables. The first report anyway you have a country name here, region name here and sales here. That's why you created three joins. For the second report I want only country name, comma, sales. That time tell me how you satisfy the second report here. Where you have country name and where you have sales. You have a country name in the country table, sales you have in the sales table. But when you export this, let me save. I saved this universe. File, export, browse, whereby universes folder. Click on OK. Exported. Then if you want to create a new report, you need to go to rich client. There you have a, if you want you can go to file. There you have a create new document. Click on create new document. Select the universe. I'm just selecting universe. Universe name called as universe 2. Click on select. Oh sorry. Still you won't get any data in the report. If you want to use these columns in the report, you need to convert the table as a class and columns as objects. You can see only classes and objects but not table and joins. Save, file, export, browse. Report can read only classes and objects but not table and columns. That's why you need to convert whatever the columns you required in the report. You need to convert that column as a object. That is mandatory. Then only you can see your you can see your that column in the report side. Otherwise you cannot see. If you want article lookup, article label column, you just need to create a article label as an object. That object you can read in the PO report. Okay, anyway, now I want to create a new report. Click on new, universe, our universe is universe 2. Click on select. Now I am trying to create a report country wise, region wise, and treat me this as my sales. Please treat me this as my sales. It's coming from sales. Then when you see here, it will create three joins. Two joins, country dot country ID equals to region dot country ID, and the second join is region dot region ID equals to sales dot region ID. The reason is, when you see here, country name you are taking here, the region name you are taking here, sales you are taking here. That time the system will see the number of joins there in these three tables. You have a join one between country region, join to region comma sales. That's why it's forming a query with the two joins. Now the next requirement is, I want to create a report with the only two columns. As per the first requirement, I want only the data for two columns. The two columns were the universe 2. The second report is, my customer is asking to create only country name and the sales there in the sales table. I just dragged up country name, comma, sales there in the sales table. This time when you see the SQL query, it writes still two joins. But my customer is asking, no, You are creating such a small report with the 2 columns. Column 1 from table 1, column 2 from table 3. Why you are taking longest path? Why you are going to table 1 to table 2, table 2 to table 3? I don't want any data from table 2. But why you are traveling to table 2? And why you are taking a join between table 1, table 2 and table 2, table 3? Why don't you create a shortest path between country and sales? That time my customer is asking, I'm running such a small report, why I need to execute 2 joins? When you execute 2 joins, if you are executing 1 join, that means you are writing matching conditions like table 1 dot records into table 2 dot records, as well as table 2 dot records into table 3 dot records. That means that many matching conditions you are doing. How the join will execute, in the real time? It will take a country 1 from the country table. It will map all the regions there in all the countries there in the region table. Then it will go to second country name in the country table. It will match with all the value, all the records there in the region. This is the way it will do matching conditions. N into N times, again N into N times here. That will decrease the performance. For increasing the performance of second report, you need to create a join between country and the sales. When you make join between country and sales, what it will do, it will form a loop. Why it will form a loop, For satisfying 2 reports and improving performance of second report, you created 3 joins. For satisfying first report, you created 2 joins, and satisfying second report and improving performance of second report, you created a 1 more join between country and sales. Shortest join. But still, what it will do, when you save and export, browse, still the system will get confused because you are not satisfying referential integrity. This time the system, what it will do, export, save and export. This time when you go to report, when you try to create a new report, let me try to create a new report on universe, and click on OK. You are trying to create a new report on top of this universe. Select that particular universe. Now I am trying to create a report with the country, as well as sales. When you see this time, how many joins you got? 3 joins. See, country.country ID equals to region.country ID. Region.region ID equals to sales.region ID. Country.country ID equals again sales.country ID. It will write 3 joins. The reason is it will get confused. Country is mapped with the region, as well as country is joined with what? Sales. Sales is joined with the region, as well as this. This time, you are taking data from country, sales, but country table is joined with the 2 tables, and sales table is also joined with the 2 tables. That time what it will do, it will give all 3 joins, will get confused. When you double click the join line between country and sales, and when you enable join as a shortcut join, this time what it will do, you are just giving an instruction for the system. Whenever I take a data from country to sales, please follow the shortest path and take a data from the shortest path. That time the system will follow only the path whatever you derived between country and sales. When you drag and drop objects from country table and sales table, object from country table means country name, object from sales table means sales name. You can rename this as a sales. Country table, country name, sales table, sales table. Save, file, export, browse, and I am exporting to the dev server. The folder name called as web by universes folder. Then click on OK. Now that universe will be appeared in your report side. Now let me create a report, same report. I will create with the same report with the country sales. This time please observe the difference. This time the system will take only two giants. One giant, sorry, not two giant even. One giant. Click on new. I'm trying to take a same universe as a source. I just modified that universe. I'm taking that universe as a source now. Just select that universe. Click on select. This time when you take country, comma, sales. This time when you see SQL query, how many giants it right? Viswa, are you there? Have you observed? Please tell me, are you okay with that? Now how many giants it right? Only one giant. There is a shortest giant between country and the sales. That means now it's not taking two giants or three giants to execute a second report. It will take only one giant. The giant is there between country and sales. This time it will improve the performance of second report. That's why the definition of the shortcut join is a shortcut join is a join which provides an alternative path between country and sales by eliminating reason table. If you are not defining a shortcut join, that time still you are taking data from country and sales. The system will read two joins. That means it will take a longest path. The second path is called as a longest path. This path, country wise, country to reason, reason to sales. If you define a direct join between country sales, and when you define that as a shortcut join, that time when you take data from country sales, the system will take the shortest path. It will improve the performance. The definition of the shortcut join is a shortcut join is a join which provides an alternative path between two tables by eliminating intermediate table called as a reason. If you are not defining the shortest path, that time system will follow longest path like country to reason, reason to sales. It will decrease the performance. Why it will decrease the performance? If you are executing one extra join means you are simply writing a n into n number of matching conditions. That time the system will take a time to match. But if you take the shortest path, this time you are executing only one join. That means you are writing only n into n matching conditions. If you go longest path, that time the system will execute n into n between country and reason, again n into n between reason and the sales. That means you are executing extra n into n number of matching conditions. That will decrease the performance. That's why the definition of the shortcut join is a shortcut join is a join which provides an alternative path between two tables by eliminating intermediate table. Why I am telling you it's the alternative path? Already you have a one path between country to reason, reason to sales. Now you are again defining one more path, that is alternative path to improve performance of second report. That is your shortcut join. This is a way you can resolve this loop. Now when you see here, you are not defining a join as a shortcut join. You just click on OK. This time when you go to tools, automated detection, detect loops, it will tell there is a loop, but still you need not to care about this. What you need to do is, if it is suggested to go for alias or context, don't go for alias or context. The loop have three tables. Still what you need to do is just double click here and enable shortcut join. This time when you go to tools, automated detection, detect loops, the system says there is no loop detected. The reason is, at a time the system can read only three tables and two joins. Whatever the join you presented in the dotted lines, that will be enabled only when you execute second report between country and sales. This time what the system will do, if you execute report 1, it will enable the path like country to reason, reason to sales, and it will disable the path between country and sales. This time the system can see three tables and two joins. When you execute second report, this time what the system will do, it will enable the path between country and sales. It will disable the path between country and region. This time it will enable only path between country and sales. It will disable the path between country, region and sales. This time the system can see 2 tables and 1 join. Now also you are satisfying referential integrity. Report 1, it will enable 3 tables and 2 joins. It will disable the 3rd join what you define between country and sales. That time the system can see 3 tables and 2 joins. You are satisfying referential integrity. When you execute report 2, that time it will enable the path between country and sales. That time the system can see 2 tables, 1 join. Number of joins is less than number of tables. That also will satisfy the referential integrity. It will disable that path country to region to sales. There is a way you can satisfy the referential integrity. Yes, I talked about 3 techniques. Technique number 1 is resolving loop with alias. That I hope you know. When the loop is created with the multiple dimension tables and 1 fact table, that time the system suggests us to go for alias. Click on insert alias. That time the system create alias table for the table which have at both the ends 1, 1 cardinality. If the loop created with more than 3 tables and more than 1 fact table, that time system will suggest us to go for context. When you go to tools, auto detect loops, that time if the loop have a 2 fact table, system will create a 2 context. Please click on add. Third, the loop created with more than 3 tables, that time please don't go for alias or context. Please enable any one join as a shortcut join. It will resolve the loops. If the still system suggested to go for alias or context, don't care about that instructions. Please make a shortcut join. If you have a 2 dimension tables, 1 fact tables in the loop, that time it will suggest us to go for alias. If 2 fact tables, 1 dimension there in the 3 tables, that time it suggests us context. Still don't go for any alias or context. If possible, you can resolve the shortcut join if you have a 3 tables. If more than 3, go for alias or context. If you have 3, please use only shortcut join. That is your loops. Resolving loops. Till now what we did is defining parameters. In the defining parameters means when you go to file, new, you give the universe name and connection. That we call as a defining parameters. Number 2, insert tables. Right click in the structure pane, tables, select the required tables, click on insert. That time tables will be imported into the structure pane. That we have done. Number 3, detect joins. How you detect or how you make a joins, very simple way. If you know how to create a join, if you know how to identify a matching columns, if you know how to identify primary and foreign keys, that time you can create manually. Joins you can create manually. If you are not good with that time you need to go to what? File, parameters. If you want to create a join with automated method, please go to file, parameters, strategy. There please define the join strategy as smart matching column names and click on OK. Then later you need to go to tools, automated detection, detect joins. That time the system itself will create a joins for you. That is a way you can make your joins.